6:46 in your Sunrise Smart Start. Breaking overnight, a 19-year-old man in Rochester is expected to survive after someone shot up a home on Finch Street. RPD responded to that scene a little after 10:30. Officers quickly learned shots were fired from outside the home into the house. That's where the victim was hit. There was also a woman and 3 teens inside the home. They were not injured. Thankfully, no arrests have been made. More developing news and more information on Monday's mass school shooting in Nashville that killed 6, and key moments when law enforcement went inside the building room to room and eventually took down the shooter, a former student. Another warning here, some of this footage is tough to watch. The body cam video release shows moments before officers confronted the shooter at the Covenant School. Now, while investigators still look for a motive, we are told 28-year-old Audrey Hale, the shooter, legally purchased 7 guns, 3 of those used in the attack. Hale was also under doctor's care for an emotional disorder.
Law enforcement knew nothing about the treatment she was receiving, but her parents felt that she should not own weapons.
The president also told reporters yesterday he has spoken with the police chief and the 2 officers who took out the shooter, as well as other officials. He has not spoken to the families of those 6 victims yet, though he does plan to do so soon. More neighbors are stopping by the Covenant School to place flowers and say prayers at a memorial outside the gates to campus. As you see in that video, the site is lined with flowers, a cross, giant teddy bear, and balloons. The president also, during a visit to North Carolina, called on Congress to pass an assault weapons ban, saying, why do we allow these weapons of war out on our streets? Here in Rochester, police have sent us some new video of recent smash and grabs. These were last week, Monday into Tuesday in the overnight hours. The security cam video shows a blue Hyundai backing into the entrance of 2 stores, smashing the glass door. Meantime, a white Kia sits parked nearby. The first video comes from Rock 7 convenience store on Dewey Avenue. The other from My Way station on Emerson Street. Police say they hope this will lead to more leads and lead to the arrest of suspects. Police add the suspects were responsible for 3 other smash and grabs, so 5 in total that same night, early morning. After a week of disruptions and all the bomb threats at Hilton schools over the book there called This Book is Gay, parents took to the podium at a meeting to voice concerns to the school board. It started off with an immediate recess that meeting after the first speaker started to curse, calling the board sick and demanding the book be pulled from shelves. Others spoke on the values of the book.
We have 2 grandsons, and I want them to go to a school district that gives them a secular education.
I think that it's important we open our minds and realize that we need to start educating the kids so they're not afraid of being who they are.
The district has said the book is not banned. At this point, a review has been submitted by a member of the community. For the source of those anonymous bomb threats, the emails, still under investigation, deputies have called them a hoax. Federal funding granted during the pandemic years to high-poverty schools for students to get free food at school is now gone. That's why advocates are urging Governor Kathy Hochul to include more support in her state budget for this. The group Feeding America says 1 out of 7 children faces hunger here in New York. Democratic Assemblywoman Jessica Gonzalez Rojas is sponsoring a bill that would give all schools with breakfast and lunch at no cost to the student. Students delivered empty food trays to the governor's hall, showing support and a need for that legislation. The firing pin, a shooting range and gun shop in Bergen, is going to have to rebuild after a fire destroyed the building last week. The owner, Brandon Lewis, says they're working to build a temporary mobile shooting range inside a shipping container to keep up with classes that were scheduled. He says they're trying to avoid delays for those looking to get qualified for their pistol permits.
The shooting range is completely destroyed and is going to have to be rebuilt. And I think, in my non-professional opinion, the store is also going to have to most likely be completely, demolished and rebuilt from scratch. Again, we're just so thankful that no one was injured.
All the guns inside have been recovered. The company is now working to contact customers who had bought guns at the store and had them ready for pickup or delivery. The cause is undetermined for that fire. An appeals court in Maryland has reinstated the murder conviction for Adnan Syed. Last year, he was exonerated after serving more than 2 decades for the murder of his ex-girlfriend, Hae Min Lee. In a decision Tuesday, the appeals court ruled to reinstate the original conviction. The reason here, saying the victim's family was not given enough notice to attend the motion to vacate. It's unclear at this point whether Syed will have to go back to prison until he can have another new hearing scheduled in the case. 6:51 is the time. Let's get some updates on that forecast here locally with our meteorologist, James Gilbert. 28 to start the day.
Yeah, and you got a little glimpse of the sunrise, right?
I did. Nice clear skies, nice color this morning. You can hardly tell there could be a snow squall in the forecast.
Right, and it's really going to be tough by 3 o'clock when it gets to 50 degrees.
Yeah.
This afternoon. Morning checklist is a real interesting one. So I'm going to say the medium jacket because there's a chill out there this morning. We're below freezing. Sunglasses because we've got the sun out. I even wore a hat this morning because of that chill. But by the afternoon, you're going to be thinking maybe a long sleeve shirt, short sleeves if you're going on a light jog later today before we're going to need the winter jacket because snow is on the way. We'll break that down as well as a look at the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Brennan?
See you then. Thank you, James. Your roads this morning looking just fine. Again, the only thing you need for that, sunglasses. If you're coming in from the west side, taking a live view this morning, sunrise traffic continues with another update during CBS Mornings at 7:25. As we move further into early spring, we hit the real start of allergy season. Some of you out there may be already dealing with your symptoms. I mean, it's not even April. Here's Jatira Marsh, who spoke with a local doctor for some advice. Jatira.
Brennan, according to the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America, Rochester is ranked as the 8th worst city for spring tree pollen and the 20th worst city for overall allergies. It was a very long winter, but now that it's almost April, those who deal with seasonal allergies may be dreading the inevitable spring season that follows. And according to local doctor Emily Weiss, those of who suffer will be experiencing those triggers in the upcoming days. She says there are a few things you can do to try to avoid these symptoms as much as possible.
One is we know that things pollinate the most, first thing in the morning. So, you can track online when the pollen counts may be high. So maybe if you have an environmental allergy, if you're outside during that time, you might feel it more. So you may choose to do certain activities around certain times.
She adds that luckily for Rochester residents, the city has a large allergy community of providers full of board-certified allergists to have your allergies evaluated to better help treat your specific needs when it comes to your allergy types and symptoms. Brennan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jatira. It's going to get some more headlines here. A lot of people will be talking about is Adidas' partnership with music superstar Beyonce coming to an end. Citing people familiar with the matter, The Hollywood Reporter first reported that the two sides had mutually agreed to part ways due to creative differences, and that Beyonce will retain the rights to Ivy Park, which is the name of the clothing line collaboration. The Wall Street Journal reports sales last year fell way behind what Adidas had projected, and that the partnership was set to end this year anyway, so they called it off early. I'm sure she'll be just fine. Find another suitor to come in.
Will Adidas be just fine? That's the problem. I think Adidas might be hurting more than Beyonce.
Maybe you just mark it down to it was just an off year. See what's going to come up.
Yeah, exactly. So I am available for sponsorship. If Adidas wants to give me a call, I can help move some sneakers there. So just send me some merch. 201 Humboldt Street is the address. Bus stop forecast, cool start to the day. And if your school ends 2-3 o'clock, you're in great shape. No issues there. Temperatures getting to around 50. The issue is for those after-school activities.
Yep.
If you're out by 5 or 6 p.m., you want the News 8 app. You want to keep an eye on radar. Track this cold front. It will not last long, but it will have impacts on the area tonight.
All right. Thank you for watching us here at Sunrise. CBS Mornings coming up next. Enjoy your Wednesday.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.